law as it moves along.
So here we have a chain of real estate, chain of title. All titles originated 1845. There is no royal patent that was issued before 1845. That person who received the patent, okay, let's say in 1854, may have conveyed it to someone in 1874 by getting it notarized and recorded in the Bureau of Conveyances. That still exists today. Then that person conveyed it in 1884, 1894, 1897, and then somebody claims to own it today. The problem here is a break in the chain of title. No treaty. There's no cession. So if there's no cession, then who are the notaries after 1898? They're not Hawaiian Kingdom notaries. And then, in 1893, the failure of the United States to administer Hawaiian law, and if they did, you would have had Hawaiian notaries, Hawaiian subjects, and you would have had transfers of property even during occupation. But it didn't happen. Took out those titles. Basically, the title companies in Hawaii have not done a good job in their title search.
Usually they break in 1893, right? Usually the land, but not always. There were specific cases where it comes through beyond 1893. And then everybody buys title insurance. You buy a home, you get a mortgage, you buy title insurance. So the solution seems, right, theoretically the solution is simple. There's a flaw in your title, but you have title insurance. Just call upon your title insurance. No, apparently that's not what title insurance is for. Title insurance is actually not to ensure that your title report is valid. So there you go. And the attacks came.
All of a sudden, we're being taken seriously because people are attending our workshops. And the title companies began to feel the pinch. They couldn't refute the information, so they attack. And their position, which is frivolous, was that we're telling people to not pay their mortgages. That was the soundbite. And you start to hear that around. I did speak about title insurance. That's what was brought up back then, where people are actually protected by their own contracts. So what people don't know is that before the bank loans you the money and accepts your mortgage, you have to go to escrow to buy title insurance called a lender's policy. It's section 1109 on the HUD-1 statement. It's all there. You pay a premium. But people didn't know what that was. And that title insurance ensures the accuracy of the title search that this is a valid mortgage. It's a valid collateral. It's a security instrument. And if it's found that the title report is inaccurate, the insurance policy pays off the loan. That's how it works. Well, instead of addressing this, which affects private people like all of you, what happens? You attack the messenger.
On September 5th, 1997, our offices were raided by the Honolulu Police Department. And at the time they came in, it was about 7:30 in the morning, and a SWAT team moved in. Take these 3 dangerous criminals down. Anyway, they came in, they arrested Don and Keanu. They went through our office, they ransacked everything, and they took all of our computers, our zip drives. They took everything out of our office. But it never stopped us. If anything, it made every single one of us in our company, it strengthened our resolve. Because we knew if this was frivolous, like they say all the time in their, this was such a frivolous thing, why are they getting so scared? The whole institution would crumble. And the state would crumble. The whole land, because if, you know, which is I think why we were trying to address the land, because without having to address the real monster in the room, you look at the land, right? And the land will lead to the monster, but let's look at the land. And if you start to remove and remove and remove, then nobody's standing on anything.
So myself, Donald Lewis, and our secretary were arrested in the morning for racketeering, money laundering, and theft. These are some heavy charges. Racketeering. What comes to mind to me, what racketeering is, called Al Capone. Yeah. I was like, really? Well, they shut down Richard Street. They're making a big spectacle. They're taking in these alleged criminals. So in handcuffs, I'm coming down this elevator, and as I walk out, there's a van, a police van. One of the detectives is sitting in the van. Her name is Joe Cowie, Detective Joe Cowie. She comes out and she's crying, and she hugs me. She says, "Keanu, I'm sorry. We were not investigating you. This came from the top." I said, "Jill, it's okay." That's why she refused to participate in the raid. Now that's telling. We were not under investigation. I later came to find out it came from Governor Ben Cayetano's office. And at that time, the Lieutenant Governor was Mazie Hirono. I would assume they said, take perfectito down with prejudice. If you can't refute them, smear them.
We were just doing title research, give it to clients, you know, it was, but they made like we were just, and I, 1,500 was a title report. You pay triple that for your actual title reports whenever you buy a mortgage. Every single day in the state of Hawaii, people pay triple that amount. And we were giving you a double report, but.
So, after a while, they can't find anything to substantiate the charges, the outlandish charge of racketeering or money laundering or theft or attempted theft. So they got myself, Donald Lewis, and one of our clients for attempted theft of property. Got us a grand jury indictment. And I was like, wait a minute. Are you alleging that we attempt to steal a house? Because they used the value of the house to meet the requirement of a Class B felony. And I knew right off the bat, you can't steal land, it doesn't move, let alone stealing a house. So Judge Sims says that she is sorry. She apologizes for what's happening to me. And that the state of Hawaii and this court would not prevent me from going to the Permanent Court of Arbitration. And I looked at her and I went, I think somebody spoke to somebody. It might have been from the Justice Department, right? Or the State Department, I don't know. Because she knew about the Permanent Court of Arbitration and the meeting we had just a few days before in Washington, D.C. So she sentenced me to probation.
So not basically, once a month he calls in. That tells us that was the minimum she could do. That was the absolute minimum she could do, and she did it. Now what was how did she get repaid for this? Well, she was removed. She was not reappointed to the bench.